Did you know we have a God-shaped vacuum in our hearts? And my question to you is, what are you trying to fill it with? Are you trying to fill it with God's substitutes or with the real thing, God Himself? I want to talk to you about it in your morning cup of inspiration. You see, we can have so many things in life that become God's substitutes. It can be a relationship, it can be our work, our careers, it can be money, our home, our family. And if we're not careful, that becomes the center of our life. And a life not centered on God is a life of emptiness. I want to read to you from the Bible, Matthew, today, chapter 8, verses 36 and 37. This is the King James Version, and it says, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?" There was a church father, one of the early church fathers. His name was St. Augustine. He was also a theologian and a philosopher. And he said that our loves are not rightly ordered. And that's a real problem. He also went on to say, "Our hearts are restless until we find our rest in Thee," referring to God. Think about that. Our hearts are restless until we find our rest in Thee. If we try to fill that vacuum with God's substitutes, we will never find that true rest, that true peace that we can have in God. And now more than ever, we need it. When we look at our world, and there's been this global pandemic that has caused so many people to lose their jobs and put people in such financial stress. And then we follow that up with rioting, protests, peaceful protests that led to rioting and violence. And there's just such a divide in our country. We need to come together. We are one race, the human race. We need to love one another. But if you want to find true rest, the Bible also tells us where to find it. In Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 and 29, it says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls." The only way to find true rest is through God, by accepting His Son, Jesus, into your hearts and saying, "Lord, I'm a sinner, and I've been striving, and I've been filling my life with so many God substitutes, but I want you to come into my life, forgive me of my sins, and I want to live with you forever and find true rest. In thy name, amen." If you prayed that prayer, let me know. Lord, our hearts are restless until we find our rest in Thee. I hope that helps you today. God bless you, and I'll see you soon for another morning cup of inspiration.